Yo, how's it going everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO discussion video, and today we're going to be talking about something that I think is incredibly pressing. So there is an issue within Pokemon GO right now where if you're on an Android device, it's actually going to turn off Adventure Sync every time you turn on the game. This is a very bad bug. I really do think that this is something that Niantic needs to fix right away, because for people who are playing on Android devices, they're not able to hatch eggs, they're not able to clock in their kilometers if they do not have the game open. Yeah, this is a very nasty issue, and Niantic needs to take priority in getting it fixed. Now, this issue seems to have been prevalent for the last week or so. I cannot actually determine when it started happening, but at least for people who are using Android with version 4.14.0 or higher, they're actually experiencing this bug, and yeah, this is a very bad thing. I can't say this is exactly Niantic's fault, but at the very least, they should have been very active at communicating about it, because as of right now, this is not even a known issue on their page. And oh boy, yeah, this is a disaster, because even for myself, like if I'm trying to collect kilometers to hatch eggs or to collect buddy hearts, currently, I'm not able to do so unless I have the game open, and with the game open, it doesn't necessarily track kilometers that well to begin with, so I've always relied on Adventure Sync to collect a good amount of kilometers every single day. But I noticed for the last couple of days that I just haven't been collecting kilometers, and I feel like it's because every time I open the game and I go to the menu and go to the settings, there it is. Adventure Sync is turned off, and I have to turn it back on in order to collect those kilometers. And even then, I'm not able to collect them. I basically only get kilometers when I'm walking around with the game open. And as of right now, there's another issue with the game where it seems like it's draining batteries just really quickly. Like if you have the game open while you're playing, the phone will overheat. I don't know if it's just my device, like my Galaxy Fold 3. It's a bit of an older phone at this point, but I feel like every time I have the game open and I'm walking around, my phone turns into a hot brick. And it really feels like it's because of Pokemon GO just using up so much data and using up so much memory and processing that it's just creating just a lot of heat with my phone. So yeah, and because of that, I tend to opt to have the game closed when I'm walking around, or when I have the game in my pocket or my phone in my pocket. So yeah, because of that, I've always relied very heavily on Adventure Sync, and the fact that it is completely broken right now has meant that, well, I haven't been able to hatch a lot of eggs. I haven't been able to collect buddy hearts. I haven't been able to do whatever that requires you to walk kilometers. It's been a hot mess. So yeah, I think these sort of things need to be fixed right away. Like if Niantic is aware of them, they need to be coming up with different fixes. And even if they can't figure out fixes, then they need to at least communicate with the Pokemon GO community. A large subset of players play on Android devices, and if they're experiencing a game-breaking bug just like this one, then they need to at least get something from Niantic to say that, well, they're aware of the issue and they're trying to come up with a fix. So yeah, I just wanted to bring awareness to this issue. It's a really bad issue. If you're playing on an Android device, you probably may have noticed that you're not collecting kilometers right now with Adventure Sync. If you go to the menu and the settings and go to the, I think it's the general button, and you can see there, Adventure Sync is probably turned off. And every time you log into the game, it's going to be turned off every time, and you're not going to be collecting kilometers. It's a really bad bug. So yeah, I think this just goes to show that Niantic is just kind of all over the place right now. And again, I do recognize that this may not necessarily be a Niantic issue. It could be a thing with Android, because the people who are using Apple devices, apparently they're not seeing this issue. At least that's what I've been hearing. Although in the past, Apple users have seen a lot of issues with Adventure Sync, so maybe this time around it's going to be the Android users who are going to be experiencing this, but I really do not like the fact that Pokemon GO has such a huge reliance on Adventure Sync. I don't know if that's something that you've noticed while you play Pokemon GO. Like, I feel like for the last, I want to say like 3 or 4 years, ever since they introduced Adventure Sync, that's basically something that I've always used as a crutch. And this time around, because I'm not able to use it, I feel like I'm getting a lot of the game missing. Like, a big chunk of the game is now being hindered by this one issue. So Yeah, I think Niantic needs to fix this issue. They need to come up with something, and at the very least, they need to communicate with their players because, yeah, this is really bad. Now, I also want to talk about when it comes to Pokemon Go right now, I feel like with raid battles and with max battles, max battles is actually in a good place, but at least with raid battles and PvP, everything feels so broken. I don't know if it's just me, but it just feels like the game is completely broken. When I jump into a raid, the experience feels terrible. Like, I'm getting spammed with charge attacks. The raid boss is just standing still, it feels like. They're not showing any attack animations, and I'm wondering if it's because of the timing that they created, like the timing issues. And then don't even get me started on PvP. Every time I jump into a PvP battle, I just naturally expect that lag, that hitch, where I miss out on a fast attack because, well, there's going to be 1 millisecond of just the game hanging. And yeah, it's really bad. I really do not know what's going on over at Niantic. I really hope they come up with something. Maybe they need to hire more developers. They need to hire more testers. I really do not know what the solution could be at this point, but my goodness, it feels like every time I log into Pokemon Go, it's just a buggy, broken mess. And that can't be the standard. Like, this really cannot be the standard. It's been this way pretty much since the beginning. When Pokemon Go first launched, there was just a lot of issues and a lot of bugs. And ever since then, it just seems like more and more bugs just keep coming. Like, anytime they fix something in Pokemon Go, like, it creates 10 more issues. It's just really weird. I do not understand the development process with Pokemon Go. Like, how are they developing this game? I used to work in the game industry. I totally recognize that bugs and glitches will happen. For about 2 years, I was a game tester, and then later on, I was a game producer. So I was on both sides of the aisle. Like, from one end, I was finding bugs on the daily, I was coming up with reproduction steps on how to fix them, and then at the other side, I was a game producer. I was managing these bugs, trying to figure out which ones we needed to fix first, which ones we could kind of let slip through. And, I just don't know what's going on with Niantic because, in my opinion, there's a lot of issues that should not be slipping through. There are issues that should get fixed with every single update. Like, there's definitely things that, if they keep it in the game, it's totally fine. Like, if there's certain issues that are not necessarily game breaking, like different visual glitches or what have you, that's totally whatever. But when it comes to like these hangs within PvP, a very competitive game mode, when it comes to raid battles being all over the place, and then of course lately with Adventure Sync having so many issues, these are things that Niantic needs to take huge priority over. Like, they should not be releasing an update until these issues are fixed, and they should not be releasing new features until these issues are fixed. That's really what I'm just very confused about when it comes to Niantic and how they're developing Pokemon Go. It's been just a conundrum for the past several years, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of rant and kind of spill my thoughts regarding all this. It's just incredibly frustrating playing Pokemon Go right now. This Adventure Sync thing has just kind of soured how I feel about Pokemon Go. Like the fact that I haven't been able to hatch eggs, I haven't been able to collect buddy hearts. I know I keep repeating that, but these are 2 things in the game that I do every single day. And the fact that I haven't been able to do them, it's just incredibly frustrating. So yeah, I really hope Niantic fixes these issues really quickly, really soon here, because my god, it's been awful playing Pokemon Go lately. So yeah, but in any case, that's essentially going to be it for this video. I just wanted to kind of rant a little bit, and I know I don't often give Niantic a lot of slack. I know I tend to be very negative towards Niantic, but I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I do think they have it in them to fix these issues. Just maybe something's going wrong in management. I really do not know, but at the very least, I want to put a spotlight on these issues so that as the community is discussing them, Niantic is a lot more aware of them. And yeah, but in any case, let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. Are you frustrated with the state of Pokemon Go? Are you frustrated with this Adventure Sync bug? Definitely share your horror stories in the comments, and yeah, let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you ended up enjoying it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And also don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Content Slow channel, the absolute best way you could do so is, of course, joining my Patreon. And if you become a paid Patreon member, you get a permanent spot on my in-game Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids or the friendship system, if you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then do consider joining my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way that doesn't involve spending money on Patreon memberships, then you can always check me out on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms that you see on screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. That'll be a tremendous help. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you in the next one.